That's a
don't
very good question.
know.
I don't know either. I'm trying to think back. Now this I'm thinking back to like 2 years ago, so I'm
Yeah,
calling.
Hawk has played Overlord this tournament so far. He's
Okay.
played Overlord, he's played BC, he's played
Ooh,
Colossus.
we have the second
So
ready.
he's got a good range of ships. Fast Forward has played BC, Leviathan, and Colossus.
So,
Get your popcorn ready.
who's
Yeah.
doing the top right team again this time? Is it going to be QQQ again?
Sure. I can do.
Oh, was that Pronexus?
Or if you want to, I can take turns. You can do it.
Pronexus, you're on.
Yes,
Total
yes,
commitment.
I'll take the top right.
You have to be prepared to go all the way with this,
All the
Alexis.
way.
Pronexus. No, I can't make your name a variation of Stukov. Sorry.
All right, and looks like game number 2, AcesHi versus Red Alert, is underway.
Or will be underway as soon as this loading screen finishes.
Will be underway. Aces lost
And a
the first
beautiful
match.
loading screen it is.
In the bottom left, we have, that is right, the one, the only, the AcesHi. We have, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, we have the crack shot going the Void Ray. I'm already
There it
excited,
is.
such excitement. We have Abra on Raven going Imp, Fig Jam 4-3 Colossus standard opening. Pure Shield Recharge looks like on Red Dog. Dead Knight going 5 missile, and Delta, of course, Delta, I mean, I say of course, going mutation, but Delta on the Leviathan, again, they did not cut the Leviathan. And
Yeah.
so, tell me, what do we have in this top lane? Please tell me.
Taking over on the right lane, on the right, top right. Oh yes, it looks like I'm on my million. Sonya White still on the Void Ray. Ivana on the Colossus with standard 4-3 open. Sanic on the Raven with EMP and 300 energy. Hawk on VOB with Plague open. Fast Forward with 9 range, 1 missiles, and Lever on the Desi.
And look at this in the south left corner. The Void Rays have basically nullified each other. Both of them are the least farm ship.
Yeah. They've been denying each other farm. Now the Desi opened Hall instead of bombs.
Ooh, Raven versus Raven with Void Ray versus Void Ray. It's Void Ray. It's gonna be Void Ray Raven Colossus here. It's gonna be a straight up 3 versus 3 mirror match in the top lane.
Somebody owes me $5 internet dollars, although I was wrong about the levy. I'm surprised about that though. I'm surprised they ran levy again.
There's only one Dreadnought in this game. I'm shocked and appalled that there is only one Dreadnought.
Only
Well,
one
now,
Dreadnought,
let's
and it is Sever, who's been a dominating Dreadnought. this
Yeah, as
whole
I say,
tournament.
let's see him make his mark on this game. Maybe the Void Rays will cancel each other out. It's going to be Levy and Dread that make the difference in this game.
So
I don't think it'll happen, but I throw it out there for excitement.
Well,
So-
the bottom lane, Delta 9 against Sever, 2 of the most dangerous players in the tournament. Delta 9 and Sever both at the top of the list of kill count. So they've definitely been making an impact for both their teams. I would say both of them are in the running for MVP.
it's an excellent question. And if you would like to vote for your choice of MVP, you're welcome to say so in the comments of the Twitch stream.
Ooh, I need to log on and vote for myself.
Absolutely, you are welcome to do so.
Yes, we also have other players awards that we are nominating for. Players have been nominated. You can feel free to nominate by visiting the database. I think we can provide a link there in a minute or two.
Please do.
So back to this game, even Void Ray versus Void Ray, I really feel like I know it's not a huge advantage, but Red Alert has got the early map lead in this game as well. We're slightly on
It's
high side of the
50
map.
farm is like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking necessarily about farm, but also about look at the HP on the Levy, look at the HP on Big Jam.
I see what you're
versus
saying. Yeah.
What's going on Red Alert side of the map? I think they're kind of owning what's going on here now. AcesHi has made a transition. They've moved the Levy to the middle, and they've put the BC versus the Dread.
That makes
But-
sense to me. Well, it's because Delta was low and he should not be going back yet. So just put the higher HP ship versus the side lane.
Now Delta may actually be, well, it's going to be close. Depending on how many missiles Apollo puts on him, he might be burning after that plague.
Ooh, just a little bit of spike here.
Yeah.
Delta and the red. That levy.
But I'd say regardless of the total farm score, this early game is going to Red Alert.
Yeah, a slight advantage here. Nothing that will make or break the game necessarily, although these early game leads can certainly add up, especially in terms of tempo and just mentality, right? You know, you have that feeling sometimes where it's like, really, you know, just from the very beginning of the game, they were just always a little bit up.
Yes, yep.
But, you know,
now, right here,
I would have to give it to Red Alert since they know they've been winning this comp. It's so for many years now.
Now the difference here, though, I agree. I say Crackshot may have been able to push that advantage if his team was in a position to push, since he had upgraded and Sonya had not. But he ended up he was satisfied with the push, the even.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is Red Alert's comfort zone, right? This is the comp that they run.
Yeah, I agree. I think Red Alert is comfortable if they are even on farm for the rest of the entire game.
But I mean, this is the comp they've run pretty much, you know, just if not every game, then every other game at least. I think just about every they've run it in just about one of at least almost every matchup, right? I mean, the what do you call it? The dork mid.
Dork, yes.
The D-O-R-K.
Yes, you're right. They're comfortable with this comp. They've run it. They know how it works and how to anticipate different points of the game.
I'm sorry, the Bork mid.
Yes.
The Bork mid with the opportunity to become a dork if the D decides to push in.
So both teams now had gone back to their base respectively to heal up and to upgrade, and Red Alert pushing back out has taken the mid map again.
Absolutely. So Verf with charges, bots, 5 armor, Hawk with 2 mutas, 375 energy, and plague extension, Sanic with imp, and yes, that is the imp upgrade. Fast forward with scan and 9 range. Yvonne with hardened shield, 9 shields. And then Sonya with 4 beam, 4 phase disruptors, blink, and energy nova with 325 energy. Crackshot coming out with 5 beam, 2 phase disruptors, and 425 energy. Fig Jam Lance, 350 energy. Red Dog, total commitment to the shield regeneration. Abra, Imp, not the system upgrade. And Delta coming out with rapid regeneration. 544, 250 energy, and finally Dead Knight, no scan, just lockdown. Just lockdown. And actually, why don't I go ahead and check Abra? He does have radar.
All right, that's good.
The supports here in the mid, the Arbiter and the Robins, both not really taking many spells, just going energy, and like you said, Red Dog, just on regen.
And that's a difference in style and also strategy, right? Is that Abra picks up the radar so that Dead Knight can focus purely on lockdown, whereas Sanic gets the imp upgrade while Fast Forward picks up scan. So, you know, which ship gets which spell when is very important in the transition from the early game to the mid game.
Big Gem again, down and burning. He was down at 1 life before and still holding the mid with support. Now he's at about 2,300 health and burning.
And that's what happens with the plagues. Hawk just keeps it on the Colossus so he doesn't get that just perpetual easy shield regeneration. He makes him work for it. Makes that Arbiter use that energy. Makes the Arbiter use the shield regen, which he's spent pretty much all of his money on.
Yeah, that's going to be a big determining factor later in the game. the Overlord there for Red Alert's plagues on those next ships, especially the Colossus, which can't really regen in the field.
Somewhere here, Fast Forward did also pick up Lockdown. And just a little bit of damage getting on Hawk. Delta not committing too heavily. And we do still have... Oh yeah, we do still have BC versus Dreadnought. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, I want to see if this affects Red Alert this time around. Is Sanic also seems to be the lowest farm on the map, and with dedicating to the Void Ray versus Void Ray battle, and so with AcesHi having the 2 supports versus, well, I call it pure supports, right? It's Raven and Arbiter, not counting the Overlord, versus Sanic as the only Raven. So we'll see how that goes for Red Alert this game or not.
Yeah, it puts a lot of responsibility on Sanic, but really, you know, it is, you know, counting on Fast Forward as well, that between the Overlord, which isn't exactly a support, but the Overlord and the Battlecruiser both give a lot of battlefield control, so I think they very often feel like they can just get away with not having an Arbiter, right? You know, what exactly does the Arbiter add that can't be accomplished with other ships? You know, there's the Cloak, but it seems like Red Alert just doesn't feel like the Cloak is... Yeah, we have a lot of commitment here. Delta and Dead Knight both in a lot of danger. Dead 3,000, 2,000, 2,400. Shields are on lockdown. 400, 300, 200, gone!
Oh, EMP? Oh, he still got to blink out. Now can Evan Paula make it out?
If everyone gets out of here, this is going to be a... Wow. Fig Jam has to turn Fig Jam at 400 life, 1,000 shields.
Oh, wow. Red Alert gets away with the kill.
That was amazing.
They were committed for that.
Great play on Red Alert's part.
Yeah.
Great awareness by Sonya to whoop all the way across the map and get on that battlecruiser.
Absolutely. And with the battlecruiser gone, there goes that solution to the Void Ray that they were lacking the entire last game. Now there is no lockdown. Now Sonya is going to feel a lot more comfortable knowing that the denial, now it would be, there's no siphon even. It's imp and feedback, and that's it.
Not only that, for AcesHi, it's got to hurt that BC was also your highest farm ship on the whole map, on the whole team. That was the highest farm ship on your team. Actually, it was the highest farm ship on the map at that point when he died as well.
Yeah, he was doing well on the bottom lane against the Dreadnought. A battlecruiser with lockdown does very well against the Dreadnought, and he was picking up a lot of farm down there.
Yvonne coming out with Lance, protective field from Sever. Sonya actually picked up Chrono Rift, which is an interesting choice. That Chrono, I found that Chrono in this version can be actually very, very strong. So really making sure that they maintain the advantage. If the Void Ray needs to get into the mid and make some sort of difference, Chrono Rift can make a little bit of a difference in the mid if something gets too hot.
There's a lot of pressure now on Crackshot to make a move. He's got to use that Void, and he's got to get a kill and change the side of his game.
Yes, I agree, but I think the danger here is for AcesHi to try to make that play too soon before they're ready, because it's almost the same situation they had last game with their tower going down. You know, can they compose themselves, get back into the game, make the right choices so that they don't get into a situation where they're just ending the game not in their favor.
So if you're AcesHi here, what is your play? How do you get back in the game? How do you generate a kill? I mean, obviously a big part of it is going to have to come down to Crackshot's Void Ray, with Beam, the Cloak, the Blink, 5 radius on the Blink, to Sonya's 8.
I'm not sure. They're mid with only the Arbiter, the Robin, and the Colossus. They don't have much push power against what Red Alert has.
Yeah, I agree, because they're counting on their Arbiter to be a better support ship than Red Alert's Overlord, and I don't see that happening. Being a ship down, I would qualify that statement.
So We had someone in my stream voting for Zorb and 1 vote for Sonya. Sonya, #1 farmer NA. But Sonya mostly plays on the other server, doesn't he?
It makes it even worse.
Right?
Although, #1 farmer, I have to qualify that he's just even with Delta 9 in this game, so...
Well, it should be versus Crackshot, right? So, yeah, Sonya is up 100 farm on Crack. That's very significant.
That is significant. I guess I was going for farm on the map.
There's the Chrono Rift. Yeah, the Chrono Rift. It's actually interesting to see in a Void versus Void the Chrono Rift in play, right? Because it does slow down the weapon attack speed, and even though the Void Ray can fly out of it very easily, you know that's time where the beam is not on you. It's not on Sonya if you're Sonya here, and certainly they don't want to waste their blink just to get out of a Chrono Rift. So it is, you know, these mind games just to keep Crackshot, you know, see if you can just tilt him a little bit, just get him a little bit annoyed at all these rifts, all this just stuff on the map.
Yeah, when you in a V, you can really get it into some strange positions.
Well, I think if I was AcesHi, I think I might try to distract somebody with my Void Ray and then kill them with a Levy. I mean, you got to have your other side lane ship you got to have them be a contributor to this game. It goes back to what we were talking about before the game even started. Like, is Levy the right choice? Can it contribute?
So Abra still purely on Imp. Delta has picked up Frenzy, Corruption, Interception, and Bioplasmid. Red Dog, Imp, and 180 on the shield recharge. And yeah, Crackshot as I showed before. For the record, Red Alert and Yvonne did not PP at the start of every game, did they? Or did they?
No, they didn't. They did not.
But Red Alert has paused here.
Yes,
so
they have paused here.
This is the first pause. And I think, actually last game, I think it was AcesHi who had paused at one point, isn't it?
Yeah, I
don't
so.
recall now.
Yes, it was after the first push where Delta came down to 1 bar.
Yeah, and Delta was the one who called PP and paused it. Yep.
And Sanic has picked up Blackout. I think I should also mention that. So we have a Blackout from Red Alert that we do not have from AcesHi at this point.
Yeah, Red Alert, after holding the forward cloud, Aces cloud there in this 4-cloud map, this cloudy map, they've pulled a 400 farm lead.
And Abra on Raven is not banking enough to get Blackout on this back right now. So he does not have enough for Blackout currently.
Yeah, just 266.
He's put more of his money into speed.
But I mean, the 400 score difference is really almost entirely on Dead Knight, right?
Yes, I agree. And you're going to expect to be down in farm when you're down a ship. Not that the AcesHi can't still make a play. But what are those playmaking spells, right? It's Blackout, it's, well, he does have Frenzy on the Levy, and Intercept, and Corruption.
Yeah, the Levy is going to have to get in here and work with the Void Ray in some situation. You get Corruption on a battle cruiser, Void Ray blinks in, beams him down before the lockdown can really interrupt the double charge. But one big concern here for AcesHi is that Red Dog is really struggling in farm. Sanic is also struggling in farm from Red Alert. But Red Dog, this Arbiter is really just kind of a floating shield battery with occasional feedbacks right now. It's hard to get a big map impact. 3 to 4 minutes, so it's a little bit long for a pause, actually.
Yeah, 5 minutes is the max according to the tournament rules. I don't know how long we've been paused right now.
Yeah, so Sanic really committed very heavily to this Blackout. 450 energy. The Imp, and has Sanic also picked up Radar now? It's, I have to check the upgrades. I don't know if I can tell.
He does not have Radar.
Yeah, so really committing to Blackout before Radar is an interesting choice as well.
I mean,
Yeah, I
they're
know that the
pulling down
5-minute
speed.
rule, but there's been 40-minute pauses in this tournament from.
I recall that. I recall that game.
So I feel like the rules have not been terribly consistently enforced. I don't think anyone has been disqualified because of a pause taking too long.
When I would say I agree with that, because I think you play more for the spirit of the tournament and why we're playing this, and to promote the game. We want more people to play, and I think a strict adherence to the rules, kicking people out because of that sort of thing, is not what we want to bring across with this type of a event.
Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be some sort of middle ground. I think 5 minutes is too low because any sort of internet issue can go on for at least 5 minutes. Just to replace batteries can that's pushing 5 minutes. But somewhere between that and the 40-minute
totally
pause, right?
The jokes were totally worth it, though. Like, what did he say? Sell fork? Say fork? What do you eat soup with?
Oh yeah, you got me with that. That was great. Oh man.
No, I agree that 40 minutes was a bit long. However, as a participant in that game, I would rather do that and make sure that the game gets played appropriately by both teams than try to call for some sort of forfeit. That's my position.
Yeah. I mean, my concern is more that, when you go above 5 minutes on a pause at that point, right? I mean, the question is, do I need to pause my stream or something, right? I mean,
I guess that, but except for that, at this point, everyone knows. I guess unless you pause it, thinking that is there a warp trick, but at this point, everyone knows, because then when they unpause, all they're going to be looking at on the stream is a paused game, right?
and I mean, even if they look at the stream and they're like, oh yeah, now we know that Sanic has a blackout, they can't do a damn thing about it right now, not without getting the Arbiter and the Ravens more farm.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can expect it, or you can suspect it, but
you have to be able to anticipate that against Sonya White, you're gonna get blackout. Or I'm sorry, against Crackshot, you have this 300 farm Void Ray. You're gonna be getting blackout pretty early.
Yeah. Although this is, we're down to the semifinals here, and it's an elimination game for AcesHi. So I also
I needed to double check that. Is it the finals? That's a best of 5?
That's my understanding. Is every game until the finals is best of 3. So, however, I don't know. Like you said, we got to check. We always got to check the tournament rules.
Every time there's one of these long pauses, we end up spending half of it just trying to reread and understand the rules.
All the rules. Well, what I was going to say, what I was getting at is the other side of the coin is, for AcesHi, this is, like Pornexus was saying, they've practiced, they've played, they get on here and they do this, and this is an elimination game for them, and if they want to use the rules to their favors, it's not that that's evil, right?
Delta 9 has announced that they will go to burn Red Alert's village to the ground.
All right. Seems like things are ready to get back going here.
Very offensive. Here comes the game starting again.
I mean, I would have expected like an Eastern Ukraine sort of joke here, right? I mean, clearly he had to take a break so that he could go and annex another country. Am I right? Am I right?
Well, Aces
geopolitics
is one of the
aside.
Aces is one of the better teams at playing a ship down. They're by far not out of this game. They have players who understand how to come back from a one-ship disadvantage. And Red Alert actually could be in danger of playing a little bit too lax, of thinking, oh, one ship up is a big advantage and they can just farm. But they've really got to keep the pressure on here.
Yeah, and AcesHi already has, they already have Dead Knight flying an observer up by the Void Ray versus Void Ray battle.
I mean, that was a harsh imp from Sanic right there. Delta begins casting Bioplasmid, and he's imped before he gets it off. I have to wonder, why he didn't drop Corruption first and then follow up with the Bioplasmid, although maybe he wouldn't have had energy at that point. Certainly not after the imp.
And it looked like, too, they were backing, so I think they're just throwing down spells on their way back to base. That's one thing with a longer pause. It's hard to remember the feel of the game. Like, what were you doing when it was paused?
Right.
Oh yeah, I know that during some long pauses, that can be the moment where you're like, okay, is there a kill somewhere here? You know, if we all cut now that we have like this moment of total coordination, can we really make something happen? But in that situation, there really wasn't.
Yes, I agree. And that one was more clear cut, but even in houses, I've had pauses where people say, were we backing? Were we not backing? Were we trying? What were we doing?
I don't know if you guys noticed, but that next did not go to waste.
There's the frenzy.
They gained the knobs.
Yes, yes.
Where is the corruption? You know,
Yeah,
especially if Fig Jam ever gets on anything, you'd think the corruption would be the first thing you'd cast, or I don't know. Delta probably plays a lot more Leviathan than I do.
Forward by Crack.
Yeah, Crack is putting pressure on Sanya, and Crack has really done a really good job, a great job of preventing and blunting Sanya's ability to farm. Delta up until now, and actually Delta 9 now, is the lead ship in terms of farm, and this is one of the few games, I think, where Sanya has not been the most heavily farmed ship.
And that's even without Acid.
Yeah, and this is Crackshot's opportunity to catch up with his Void Ray opponent here.
Well, 481 from 547 compared to Sonya White's Void Ray.
Yeah, I don't think you can catch up that quick, but yeah, you get there. Get a lot closer at least.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, he may not catch up completely, but he's gonna close that gap, I'm sure.
Now, this is the interesting point about the 65 gameplay, is that the team with 6 ships will generally hold a farm advantage for some time. If they don't outfarm significantly, then the team with 5 ships starts increasing their advantage on a ship-by-ship basis. If you look at the farm now, the ships on AcesHi are all over 500 except for Red Dog, their Arbiter support. And Red Alert still mostly under 500.
Yeah, and Crackshot came within 50 of Sanya, but it's hindered by Sanya's continued dedication to farm deny with the Nova.
Yeah, so the team with 6 has to be careful. If the team with 5, here in this case AcesHi, if they get together and ball up and push on one part of Red Alert's composition, they go for one ship, then they can get a kill pretty easily, just based on the strength of their ships.
Well, let's not forget that AcesHi, they still have an Arbiter, which can make clones later on.
Yeah, one thing I was wondering about last game was why they weren't cloning, why the Overlord didn't pick up Swarm Command and then they cloned the Overlord, right? I think that's still in effect in this version, right? Where if you clone an Overlord with Swarm Command, it's the same effect as though you have 2 Overlords with Swarm Command. Is that right?
I'm not sure about that.
You know, we actually try to bust that myth, and it's just a myth.
Oh, really?
Cloning an Overlord would make double Swarm Command. That doesn't work.
At least not in this version, then. Yeah, I
least
thought
not
it
in
was.
this version.
I thought it might have been specific to like one version, but I don't remember which one it was. Cloaked now from Red Dog, so ability to make a big difference in protecting Delta 9 if it comes down to that. Lance up to 2,000 damage on Fig Jam. Abra's defensive matrix is not quite on perfect yet. Sanya continuing to taunt Crackshot with those Chrono Rifts. Beam speed difference is noticeable. You know, it's the 0.23 beam speed versus the 0.31 beam speed. Hawk's Psyblast up to 1800. 13 range.
AcesHi here, they're getting close to a point where if they work together and they make a push, they could take the ship out. But they've got to be opportunistic and they've got to be aggressive. And typically they are. But in this situation where down
Blackout.
Here they go.
That looked defensive, but let's see, that Raven's in trouble.
Sanic is a target. Delta is on Sanic.
Yeah.
Delta is...
That's
Sanic
it.
is
That's
going
it.
down. The Raven has gone down.
But crack shot.
Blink it out. Oh, he did.
Does everyone get out here?
That blink. I think they are.
Is it a clean kill? Is it a clean Raven kill? Yvonne is
they
low.
are.
They can't
It
push us
is.
any further. That is a big, big pickup
Excellent.
for Aces
That
High.
was- And that's what we were talking about. That blackout made the big difference. They were able to coordinate a play.
Are you
Uh,
gonna see a PP?
I mean, Sanic was the lowest farm ship, but the Imp and the Blackout, I mean, there's no mistaking it. That is a huge difference maker when you're playing versus an enemy Void Ray.
Well, yeah, Raven, you don't want to lose your Raven, regardless of its level of farm.
Yeah, Hawk has to pick up Spotter
Everyone's
now, I
not
have
left
to
alone in the middle
imagine.
of the
Fast
map.
forward.
Crack
Oh,
shot,
there he is.
blink
He
forward
did,
on the
he
Sever.
did blink forward. I don't think this is a kill, but it's definitely Aces showing what they're about right now.
Yeah, continuing to show aggression.
So that's you know, finally we're seeing the Leviathan really showing off its strengths, right? You know, I know we were talking a little bit of smack about the Leviathan in that last game.
Yeah, well, that was the key. I think Ace's key to this game is that their levy needed to facilitate making that play on the support, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, and I think in a way the Leviathan makes a lot more sense in this comp than it did in the last comp, right? Because here, Void versus Void, the Leviathan has a much stronger follow-up if it can get on the Raven, right? If the Leviathan is on the Raven and then the Void can get in and just get a little bit of damage on, they can really solidify a kill, especially, but I mean, that blackout from Abra was just huge. That was game-changing blackout. Very strong coordination from AcesHi here.
Yeah, they brought him right into their towers. That's the perfect spot to make a blackout. Great map position.
And I mean, who knows? It could go either way. At this point, you have to wonder: is our first semifinals match gonna go to Game 3?
Here they're pressuring again on Sever. Daniel White warping in.
Yeah, this is Red Alert's tower going down here. I mean, metaphorically speaking, they've got to recompose themselves. They were up a ship, now they lost one. Are you going to psychologically throw the game, or are you going to bring yourself back into this and compose it and make a play of your own?
Well, it's interesting to watch what sorts of ups they get in response to a loss like that, right? So one thing I noticed here is Severf has upgraded his explosive charge up to 2,400 damage, right? So, you know, other ways of dealing with the Void Ray. You gotta have something other than just the Raven, especially when you get to this point. Hawk has, of course, picked up Spotter. Yvonne, only 1,500 on the Thermal Lance. Hawk, of course, always has had scan and lockdown through the whole game. 10 shield, so he's not as easy of a target. He is, of course, you know, really the next big target here, I think, would
Sonya's
be...
in trouble here on the top. They've got a spotter, and they've got crack shot.
Oh,
on him.
yeah. Whoa, this
Oh,
is
no,
this
he
is
goes on a turret.
this is very hot either way. Crack shot goes down. Oh my god!
It
Wow.
was the purifier.
He didn't
Sonya
expect
looked
that.
like he looked to be in trouble, but then all of a sudden with the
How
purifier,
did that happen?
Well, they
I don't
had
think Crash
the
expected that at all. He didn't know he had Fury.
Purifier suddenly comes out, and then the energy is gone. The ob is there, but Sonya doesn't even cloak. Sonya just dumps beam onto Crack, and that's where Void versus Void, that beam speed, you really have to watch it.
Did crack shot turn on his cloak?
He did, but he ran out of energy with
the purifier. It looked like Crackshot had the advantage with the observer there, and then all of a sudden Sonya just with that purifier, man.
What an incredible play from Sonya White.
And right after Red
Delta
Alert-
on Hawk. Delta is thirsty. There must
got
be
it.
vengeance.
he's got
Hawk
it.
is
He's
2,000,
almost
1,800,
committed here.
1,000.
He's gonna go.
Hawk goes down. Play
He's
for
committed.
play.
They need to make a play.
Severf is in stasis. Sonya wants vengeance, wants to protect the Dread. How do they protect the Dread in this situation?
Sonya's low. I don't think.
Sonya does not have the energy to make a big difference here. Just dropping the chrono to slow him down. Severf, you don't want to go back here.
Levy is low on energy as well. I think Ivan Apollo with that invuln, maybe it could have been a little bit better for tanking, but it worked out to get away.
They managed to get Severus out of that situation. I was thinking now it's 4-on-4.
This is turning out to be more interesting.
This is an incredible game.
Incredible indeed.
Incredible.
All right, so advantage. Who has the advantage now?
I
Support double tank versus double tank BC Void Ray.
the Obi was a huge pickup, but
Advantage. They have no DPS on AcesHi side. I think if Sonya White starts to threaten their towers, then he can put that to their advantage.
yeah, I kind of have to agree. The double support with the Leviathan is, you know, that is nothing to ignore, but the Void Ray in many situations is the stronger ship, especially when it becomes a 4-versus-4, right? Because the Void Ray starts to really pick off when it can just get all the farm. And
Yes, the Void Ray, I agree. The Void Ray is going to be really strong, but now Abra is not underfarmed as a Raven, so if you've got a Raven who knows how to play, he knows what a Void Ray is all about, and he has less ships to worry about. So we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see the rest of this game is gonna be Abra versus Sonya, and see how that plays out.
I think it will really put Sonya White's Void Ray.
is this going to be stasis on the BC? No, lockdown.
No, this is support showing strength to push the Void Ray back. He's got to respect that they can either black him out or stasis, and so he's gonna run away.
They've got to be really careful with that stasis.
Yeah, the stasis here could be very big.
Until they see that blackout, or he blinks a blackout, or it's used, they've got to respect that it's going to hit.
Red Dog making a move on...
Is this going to be a stasis? Not yet.
Not yet.
Invulnerability on Yvonne. They turn. The turn is on Red Dog. Red Alert wants that Arbiter.
Big Gen is isolated.
Red Alert's going to counter.
Whoa, why is the beam on the invulnerable ship? Lance is all over the place. Delta taking beam.
Yeah, he's going to get
a lot of damage.
I don't think he'll be able to continue that push with that old.
Whoa, Abra. You have a Severf on you. Severf has 13 gas.
11 shields.
Now, if I were playing Sonya White's VR, ignore all that noise.
Yeah,
in the
you guys
middle
should
and
go.
go for the tower.
Go take a tower right now.
Go take a tower, Sonya.
Sonya's thirsty though.
All these tanks fighting against each other, like,
It's all just noise.
well, especially when especially when the other team has double support.
He's doing well to
Ace is
continue
locked
farming
down.
up. To continue getting stronger.
And can anyone tell me who is actually controlling the Observer at this point?
I believe it's Dead Knight, since he was the first
Yeah,
one to.
he was
Oh,
the first
yeah,
one controlling it,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Quackshot
everyone is
still
just ignoring the
going off.
entire bottom half of the map here. Who cares about that
I
farm?
mean, Ace's, their goal is going to be to take out that BC.
Yeah, if the
with
BC
their-
goes down,
with
this
their levies.
Ace is really trying to push Red Alert back and win some farm space. They're really letting that bottom lane leak a lot.
well, both teams are leaking a lot in bottom at the moment.
I think Aces is probably slightly worried about that void, but I think they have confidence in
Yeah,
Abra
slightly
on
worried.
Raven. I think they've got confidence in Abra on Raven. I think they've got some confidence in that. Aces right now, I don't think that they're panicking at this point in the game.
No, I mean these are solid players. They're not going to
Yeah.
lose
And
it
I
all at
really-
once, but I
really
think
Son, yeah.
they certainly are. I think they are aware this is a rough situation.
I agree. I mean, they're basically counting on their levy right now.
I'm surprised they haven't found that observer yet. They know the observer's there, but they haven't really made an effort to detect it.
Fast
Yeah,
forward
you
warps
think
in. Fast forward does have a nuke now. What does he want to nuke here? Certainly you don't want to nuke the Leviathan. What would be the point of that?
No,
Well, the
I
Leviathan
think
kind of stopped on a dime there and has to intercept out. He's taking a lot of damage on the team.
Blink the...
Oh,
but he eats the feedback.
He didn't
Blink-
blink
blinks
him.
the M,
Blackout.
eats the
Blackout is
feedback.
still up. He could black him out right now. He
What-
should black him out right now.
what
He
is
didn't
Sonya
black him.
doing?
Sonya, that was like, oh, Ever should have blacked him. Oh, he's locked
What
down.
is going on? Whoa!
just kinda
Whoa,
dipped in.
Delta!
If Aber would not have been locked down, he could have
Nuke on Red Dog? What is going on?
I don't know if that was lag related or what, but that was
That's
pretty
some sloppy
bad.
play.
That was really bad. And that really, Sonya needs to buy a drink for Fast Forward there, because Fast Forward, he locked down Abra on the Raven. Otherwise, Blackout was forthcoming, and Sonya would have died to the levy. For sure.
I have to think Sonya maybe was just getting really thirsty for Red Dog. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, he had blinked the EMP, but you gotta know that Blackout is still in the bag.
And this is a small window of opportunity where Delta and these other ships can just really start to finally get some farm, and get those Leviathan upgrades, take advantage of the composition that they have here. Sonya coming in from the top, just kind of always keeping charge up practically. Just in case, if there's a good opportunity to blink in and drop the double charge on that Raven, he would love to just pick off that Raven.
I think AcesHi are waiting for a blackout move here. Loud.
So just like to thank all of our 30 viewers right now.
Man, I would guess, I don't know for sure, but I would guess that Abra is saving that Blackout for a save, to save his team. Unless he watches Sonya blink and he knows he can land it for sure, I don't think he's gonna black out.
He just did.
Well, that's for a save though, because look, he's got a nuke on his levy.
Now Sonya has to be conscious that the Blackout has been played. He's got a window of opportunity here to push forward and do some damage.
He's sitting on 200 energy.
Yeah, he's low on energy. I don't think he's comfortable jumping in there to make a play right now.
Oh, eats an imp. Now he's out of energy. Dropping
Yamato.
Actually, I haven't checked. It's no 10 cooldown on Yamato. That's not fully operational Yamato spam yet.
18 gats on Sever with 1.9 speed.
That's
We are clearly in the late game when you have a Dread at 1.9.
I think you're clearly in the late game when you have a Dread with 18 gats and
Yeah.
regardless of speed.
Now AcesHi is engaged to Red Alert's ships on the top of the map, while Sonya White basically free farms the bottom.
Yeah, so long
We'll
as they
see.
can all keep themselves safe.
We'll see how long before he does what he did last game. Sonya, when he felt like the pressure was on, he went and took their tower.
Yvonne is down. Yvonne is at 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. Yvonne goes down!
He took a lot of damage.
There's where the levy gets strong, especially with double support. And Invader Void Ray out of
Delta
out
just
of position.
capable of
Yeah.
incredible burst damage at this point. Stasis
Sonya's
on
fight is
Survivor.
over, but the ship is static
Sonya.
and his warp is cancelled.
Yeah, Sonya got his warp was canceled by farm, and he
So
was
Aces has
farming.
turned the tables. Aces was down a ship, and now they're up one.
This is
Great
an
play.
incredible counterplay, really. We are now watching the Delta 9 show.
Well, that's the strength of the levy, especially with two supports.
We all were surprised when they ran Leviathan after it seemed to have so little impact in the last game, but Delta has just proven everyone wrong and said, no, Leviathan is the solution so long as other things don't go wrong, because it's just capable of incredible play. The tides have turned, but this game is still far from over. Not with a 1,200 farm
Ooh.
Void Ray. Certainly not.
That was almost a canceled warp. I'm not sure it would have resulted in anything, but would have been interesting. That EMP landed just a half second after Sonya warped out.
So Aces here has turned the table. Aces ships are all 2 shots, except for Big Jam, still 3 shots.
Are they going to pressure a tower here?
Sonya has not gone two-shot yet. He's still three-shot, which affects his ability to farm, affects his ability to use Energy Nova.
Big's on the tower, but his team doesn't seem to be interested.
Well, with Sonya hitting the 675 energy, he can spam the Nova quite easily. The question here is, does Sonya, you know, go down and go farm? Does he set up... You know, what exactly do you set up here? How do you break this double support around this big, fat, mean-looking Leviathan? Those 16 tentacles, the 13 Bioswarm.
Yeah, I think Fornexus hit it. At this point, you want some sort of a 1v1. If that means somebody chases you and you warp back,
you make him gamble.
Yeah.
He's trying to here. He pulls the levy, starts a warp, and Aces collapses back to the middle. And now Sonya.
Now he's going for the tower.
On the bottom going for the tower.
Same as last game. This was the fake outs for a tower kill.
And this is what Sonya White should have done earlier in the game.
So he starts back on the tower.
Maybe 10-15 minutes ago.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Delta gets on fast forward.
Oh, yep. Here's the levy.
Levy is on fast forward. He's dropped Bioplasma. He's dropped Corruption. Fast forward's at 5,000. Battle Station goes down. Sonya's doing his job. Does fast forward make it out?
I think
4,000.
I think he's out of this.
I think he's going to survive.
Yeah.
Nuke on Delta.
There.
Sonya warps in from taking the tower. Subverf is on the Delta. Delta is still very high. It's,
I think Subverf is okay. I think Subverf's
Beam
okay.
on Fig.
Sonya on Fig.
I think that's going to be okay for Fig too.
Yeah, Ace has enough energy right here.
Now.
Whoa! Stasis on Sonya.
Stasis.
Subverf is at 500. Subverf goes down. No E-Shield pops.
Oh, yeah. No E-Shield. Now, I don't know that Sonya's getting out of this.
Nah, he's stuck.
Oh, no, but Aber just used...
Feedback.
I think Sonya's in trouble. I think he's
Storm.
dead.
Oh.
This is going to game 3.
This is gonna...
We're going to game 3.
We are going to game 3, ladies and gentlemen. AcesHi versus Red Alert. Neither team letting a single mistake slip by.
That was a good stasis.
What an incredible terror game so far.
I think it was a good move going for the tower. I think they overcommitted on the counter push. I think they should have been happy that they got the tower and regrouped.
Team like Subverf and Fast Forward tried to make a stand just by themselves, and it really did not work out.
Yeah, they should have been happy with the tower, happy that the BC got out of there, regroup, and do the same thing to the other tower, or at least make Aces respect that you can do the same thing to the other tower.
Well, if you would like to nominate a play of the game, feel free to do so in the stream chat. My goodness.
There were lots of plays that game. That was a good game. Helveticano
trying to create the lobby again. You're welcome to try. I have to imagine it's going to be Aces or Red Alert.
That's optimistic. I'm waiting for Abra to create.
I still remember when Helveticano made a bunch of rooms for that last tournament last year.